Well, hello YouTube friends. It has been a minute since I posted anything, and I just thought I would circle back. I just noticed the other day that the YouTube channel was still active, and I hadn't posted anything in about a year. No, it was more than that. It was 3 or 4 or 5 years maybe. But anyway, yeah, I just thought I wanted to kind of jump back in the YouTube circle here and talk a little bit about some of the little projects and things I've got going on. The last 4 or 5 years has been really hectic. I was when I first started trying to think about making a move out to my property that I owned. I was still working. I was working in town, and I lived in town, and I had a house and all. And I went ahead and sold it, and I was getting close to retirement. And so about 4 years ago, I put it up for sale and sold the house. Took the cash and built a little place out here at my property. And some of you may recognize this property is where I had the old buses that were out here. And the buses, they just got to be too much. Everything's just heavy and greasy and rusty and too hard to handle, and you can't get parts. And anything you do is just 10 times as harder than it has to be. And it's hard to do by yourself. And I work a lot by myself just because that's just me. I like to work on my projects alone by myself. It's my entertainment. So I just had to look at it and decide that I just couldn't do the bus thing anymore. And so a buddy of mine wanted them, and he's a good friend of mine, and he took them and did a lot of work with them. And I think at some point he decided there was somebody that wanted them worse than he did. So they went somewhere to wherever old buses go. I don't know. But it was a great experience, and I had a lot of fun. But so when I moved out here, what I did, and some of you might recognize some of the backdrop. This is some acreage in North Florida. It's in the Red Hills near Tallahassee, and I've had the acreage here for, I don't know, 15 years or so, and I knew it was a good place to move to when I was ready to retire. So in January of 24, I did just that. And but prior to that, I had sold my house, and I actually had a little camper. And I had a little camper, about a 20-foot camper, right on the other side of that tree, on the other side of that hedge right there. And I lived out here for 2 years. No, for 1 year in that location. And then we started building. I built it myself, but of course I used contractors for framing and everything, but technically I was the builder of record on it. So it was a kind of a long project, imagine that. But we wound up building a 2,400 square foot pole barn, and we got a concrete floor in it. And I moved the camper right to that last bay down there on the end, and lived in it for another year while we built out the rest of it. But it's been really a great experience, and I've enjoyed it. I enjoy sharing stuff with people just because that's just me, and like all of my little projects, I like to talk about them and learn how to do things better and talk to people and help them avoid the same mistakes that I inevitably make. But it just turned out to be perfect for me. And so it's just a beautiful day here. The weather's been awesome. It's been super hot this summer, but we're in Florida. It gets hot. So today is really nice, a little cool front coming in and bringing in a lot of dry air, which is just amazing. So what I'll do is I'm just going to do a little circle back, let everybody know kind of I'm still alive, and we're going to try to do a little more project related stuff for content, just for the heck of it. And like there's a couple of things I've got. Well, I'll show you some of the inside of the shop and all, and I guess the most recent thing right now is I've got a 65 Galaxie 500 car I'm redoing, and been working on it for a couple of years, along with several motorcycles and some tractors and some other things. So I'll go into that a little bit later. But I just wanted to hit YouTube up and say I'm alive and digging it. So hope everybody has a good September. Try to get some content out pretty quick on some of these other things, but we'll be talking at you later. Take care.